Kia ora, my name is Amy Burrell and I grew up on a dairy farm in Kaitoke, which is just north of Upper Hutt. Growing up, my mother had a wonderful vegetable garden, which I love to help out with. I used to plant my own marigold flowers, which is still my favourite flower today. We had dogs, cats, guinea pigs, lambs, pigs, frogs, fish, birds, as well as 200 or so dairy cows. This upbringing and my mum's love of doing things naturally has led me to this passion of gardening and working with nature. I now reside in Upper Hutt with my partner and 2 preschool-aged children. We have a wonderful garden full of fruits and vegetables which we eat out of most of the year round. We have grown grapes, figs, New Zealand cranberries, black currants, lemons, silver beet, kale, spinach, beans, zucchini, cucumber, spring onions, olives, pumpkins, potatoes, strawberries and herbs. Now this sounds like a lot when I list them all together like that, but they weren't all grown at once, and I'm no expert at gardening. I'm still learning loads from my garden every season. I hope to inspire you and help you on your very own gardening journey. The question we're asking in this video is, what is gardening teaching? I believe gardening with tamariki should set strong foundations for them to develop a sense of food security, respect for nature, and an understanding of the benefits of whole plant-based foods for their bodies. According to the New Zealand Heart Foundation, 2 out of 5 households in New Zealand struggle to afford good food. Good food meaning beneficial to their health. This is a serious issue that is part of a large problem with our current food systems, not just here in New Zealand but also globally. The price of our food is heavily linked to the rising cost of fuel and corporations' financial gain. Our food is grown in mass-produced monoculture methods which rely on large amounts of fuel to apply fertilizers, weed and pest sprays, as well as transport the end produce around the country and sometimes even around the world. We, the consumers, are the ones who end up paying through the rise in food cost. This system is tied to most of our foods in the supermarkets, which is what most of us New Zealanders eat daily. Another issue arising that will affect our food security is climate change. This is something that future generations are going to have to overcome as the world's core temperature rises. However, there is another way. Growing our own food doesn't use any fuel, and by saving seeds and learning to compost, we can create food for free. This is an empowering concept to instill in children from a young age. Western belief systems around gardening see us as very separate from the land, and the aim is to control nature to grow what we want to produce. In many other cultures, including Māori, gardening is about working with nature and being part of nature. We see this in the personification of Mother Earth. Papateanuku and Ranginui are people and therefore should be treated how we as people would like to be treated ourselves, with respect, kindness and understanding. This is a strong foundation to follow when gardening with your tamariki. It is with this belief that we let go of the struggle to control nature and instead aim to be friends with it. If we observe our local environment and work with its natural systems, we can create food that feeds us and supports the land to produce future crops. Children are very good at doing this as they are constantly discovering and don't hold any pre-existing goals when out in the garden. Having fun and learning about nature is what our aim should be when we're out in the garden. We should eat foods that come in nature's wrappings. The benefits of eating whole plant-based foods rather than processed packaged foods are enhanced even more when we are consuming them straight from our own garden. They are fresh, which means they hold lots of nutrients, and we know how they were grown and looked after. This is the best produce to eat. You grew it, you deserve the fruits of your labour and the health benefits they hold. Gardening is promoting these foods in all their glory. Evidence now shows that children are more likely to try new foods when they're involved with the growing and preparation of them. I hope these ideas inspire you as you embark on your gardening journey and your tamariki become empowered by the ideas of food security, getting to know nature and eating fresh whole foods from the garden. I have created a resource for you to use with your tamariki to explore our current food systems and the difference between growing your own food and food from the supermarket. Simply print them out, cut them out and have a play. Reading about Papatuanuku and Ranginui and having discussions about our relationship with nature will set a great foundation for the next video we will be releasing in June, which is around the wild world of weeds. Before I leave you to it, I would love to hear your thoughts on what else children can learn from gardening and growing their own food. Share your ideas in the comment section below so that we can all read them. And get growing!